A look at the state capitol, where a Bay Area lawmaker is making a major push to protect seniors. This week, CBS News is investigating a crime that targets the life savings of a growing number of Americans. Victims are tricked into transferring money from their bank accounts to scammers overseas. CBS News California Julie Watts investigates what lawmakers are doing that could force big banks to help protect elderly victims, but also the loophole that could let those big banks off the hook.
My name's Alice Lin. I'm 81 years old.
Alice Lin has been telling her story.
I thought about ending my life.
A lot lately.
At my age, I do not have a second chance.
The Southern California widow who cares for a disabled son befriended a stranger on a messaging app where, over time, he convinced her to wire him her life savings in a cryptocurrency scam.
I went to the bank again and again, 7 times.
Alice says the bank missed several red flags and opportunities to stop her. The bank says it tried.
Only if they had done a little something to protect elders like me from being scammed, then I wouldn't be where I am now, an 80-year-old widow, left to pick up the rest of my life.
There are still banks out there almost aiding and abetting the scammers.
When outgoing State Senator Bill Dodd heard Alice's story,
thank you, Senator,
he decided to address financial elder abuse as one of his last acts in state office, introducing a bill tailored to Alice's case.
They did not even contact my daughter, who is the joint account holder.
His bill would now require banks to create an emergency contact program for elder account holders and dependent adults, someone to approve a transfer if the bank suspects elder fraud or financial abuse.
If they even solved the last one, they would have saved me $200,000.
The bill also authorizes banks to delay large transactions for 3 business days if they suspect fraud.
You know, what do you say to the concerns that this is my money? How dare a bank tell me that they're going to hold my transaction for 3 days if I want to ship it off overseas?
And I take those concerns. For heaven's sakes, I'm a senior. If you can't explain to your banker what you're doing there, they're protecting you by holding your money.
The banking industry had its own concerns.
Does the senior have a right to their own property? 65 years is not that old.
The industry opposed the initial version of the bill, worried about the liability of delaying transactions and keeping people from their money.
I think I would be pretty upset if a teller working their way through college told me that I could not withdraw money out of my own account because the teller or the bank knew better than I did.
So Dodd went back to the bargaining table, making major amendments to his bill.
There's no longer any opposition to this bill. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
It passed with bipartisan support, thanks to amendments that limit the bank's liability. But even without opposition from the banking industry,
it would surprise me if a federally chartered bank didn't challenge this law.
Lobbyist and law professor Chris McCaley explains federal law protects national banks like Chase, B of A, and Wells Fargo from some state regulation, meaning this state law may not be enforceable for federal banks. For instance, when Alice sued her bank under a current California law, her bank had the case moved to federal court where the state law may not apply.
What's the point of this bill then, if alone it doesn't actually have any teeth?
It might start that conversation at the federal level and amongst other states.
If, or more likely when, the state law is challenged, he says it could prompt Congress to enact a federal version of the state law, allowing Dodd to leave a lasting legacy for his last act in office.
Do you think this will ultimately change policy across the country?
I really do, because they want to protect their seniors as well.
And that's the reason Alice says she continues to share her story.
I don't want anyone, honestly, to go through what I've been through.
Now, in a rare move, a federal judge recently denied a motion by Alice's bank to have her case dismissed. So it will move forward in federal court. Meanwhile, Dodd's bill is sitting on the governor's desk right now. He has until Monday to sign it.